Welcome back. We are so thrilled to have you back with us for our second episode. The conversations that started after our first episode have been absolutely amazing. I'm Ava.
And welcome from here as well, I'm Madison. And before we dive in, if you're enjoying the show, please be sure to subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're listening on. It really helps us grow and continue bringing these conversations to you.
And we love hearing from you. The stories and questions you send in are what make this show possible. So please, leave us a comment with your thoughts or ideas for future episodes. We read every single one.
It's been fantastic. For anyone who might be new here, last week we really focused on the fundamentals. We defined terms like open relationships and ethical polyamory, and we dug into the cornerstones that make them work: communication, setting boundaries, and navigating that big, scary feeling, jealousy.
A valid observation. We built the theoretical foundation, but as we all know, life isn't lived in theory. It's lived in the messy, beautiful, and often unpredictable details of our daily lives.
You've hit on something important, and that's our goal for today: to apply that theory to practice. We received so many incredible stories from you, our listeners, and today we're going to dive into two of them. These are real-life situations that highlight just how complex and personal these relationship structures can be.
Okay, let's jump into our first case study. This story involves a couple from Iceland, Helvig and Bjorn. They are at the late of their 20s. It's really hard to pronounce Helvig or Bjorn. I hope I do it correct.
That's the context. So here's the setup. Helvig is currently on a university exchange program in the Netherlands at the University of Leiden, while Bjorn has remained in Iceland. To navigate the long distance, they both enthusiastically agreed to an open relationship.
But here's where the conflict comes in. Helvig is thriving. She's in a vibrant, international university town with a very open dating culture. She's meeting people, getting attention, and having a great experience. Bjorn, on the other hand, is feeling completely isolated.
That's a very insightful way to put it. Leiden is a city renowned for its arts, culture, and history. It's a university town, which inherently attracts a transient, international, and often progressive population. Helvig has stepped into a social ecosystem that is ripe for the kind of exploration she and Bjorn agreed upon.
That's a crucial point. Europe in general, and the Netherlands in particular, often has a more relaxed and secular approach to casual dating and sexuality compared to many parts of the US. But this brings us to a more extreme example: Amsterdam, which is famous for its liberal drug policies and the red light district. It's a city where sex is not just visible, but is a commercial, regulated industry.
He describes the dating scene in Iceland as small and heavily focused on monogamy. With that everyone knows everyone culture, he's finding it incredibly difficult to meet anyone. So this massive imbalance has emerged, and he's now feeling deeply frustrated and jealous.
Before we even get into the jealousy, I think we need to zoom in on the specific cultural context of Iceland, because it's so key to Bjorn's experience. Iceland has this international reputation for being incredibly progressive, but that doesn't always reflect the day-to-day social reality.
Exactly. It's a country of only about 370,000 people. That's smaller than many cities. This creates an incredibly tight-knit social fabric where anonymity just doesn't exist. The 6 degrees of separation is more like 1 or 2 degrees. This everyone knows everyone culture can be wonderful for community, but it can also create intense social pressure to conform.
This is such a challenging and common issue in long-distance open relationships, and I really feel for both of them. From Helvig's perspective, she's doing exactly what they agreed to. She's in an exciting new place, and she's embracing it. there's probably a part of her that feels a little guilty, but also exhilarated. And it must be frustrating to feel like you have to put the brakes on your own growth and happiness because of a circumstance neither of you created.
That's a very insightful way to put it. From Bjorn's perspective, this isn't just about envy. It's a deep-seated fear of being replaced and forgotten. He's watching his partner's life expand in vibrant color, while his feels like it's fading to gray. The psychological weight of that, feeling static while your anchor moves, is immense. It threatens his sense of self-worth and his place in her life.
Exactly. And his envy is rooted in a real, tangible difference. Their agreement was based on an assumption of equal opportunity, but the cultural context of dating in the Netherlands versus Iceland has shattered that assumption. This isn't just in his head, it's a structural problem.
And that feeling of being left out isn't just about dating. It's about a fundamental sense of isolation. While Hallveg's world is expanding with new people and experiences, his is shrinking. He's stuck at home while she's having adventures. That loneliness can curdle into resentment very quickly if it's not addressed with compassion. So, what are the practical steps they can take? The first thing they must do is renegotiate. Their current agreement is clearly not working.
I agree. Step 1 should be about reinforcing their primary connection. They need to schedule more dedicated, high-quality time together. Not just texting, but video calls, watching a movie simultaneously, playing an online game, anything that deepens their bond and reminds them that they are each other's priority.
Step 2 is a hard conversation. They need to discuss a temporary pause on the open part of their relationship. This isn't about Bjorn punishing or controlling Hallveg. It's about protecting the relationship itself. It's saying, this arrangement is causing one of us pain, so we need to hit pause and recalibrate.
And step 3 is about emotional support. Hallveg needs to listen to his feelings without getting defensive, and Bjorn needs to work on articulating his needs clearly. It's a two-way street of empathy and vulnerability.
It's a tough situation that really underscores how non-monogamy requires constant adaptation. Let's move to our second story, which explores a very different dynamic. This is the story of Ellie and Sina.
Yes, Ellie and Sina are a married couple from Baltimore, together since 2013. Their relationship exists at the intersection of non-monogamy and neurodiversity. Sina has autism and thrives on a structured routine, which means she has a more limited interest in certain types of intimacy and socializing.
Ellie, who is bisexual, describes their relationship as incredibly strong, but she feels a small gap. She craves more spontaneous dialogue and specifically attention from men.
And here's their unique and beautiful arrangement. Sina is not just okay with Ellie seeking this connection elsewhere, she fully supports it. She is secure in their bond and happy in her routine, and she genuinely wants Ellie to have that need fulfilled.
Before we celebrate this as a solution, I think it's really important to provide some context on neurodiversity for our listeners. It's a term that's becoming more common, but not everyone is familiar with what it truly means.
That's a fantastic idea. So at its core, neurodiversity is the simple but profound idea that brain differences like autism, ADHD, or dyslexia are not deficits. They aren't things to be cured. They're natural and normal variations in the human genome. Just as we have biodiversity in nature, we have neurodiversity in people.
This is such a powerful story. In our last episode, we talked about the concept of compersion, the feeling of joy you get from seeing your partner happy with someone else. This is a perfect real-world example of that. Sina's joy is tied to Ellie's fulfillment, not just her own.
Absolutely. And it's a testament to the strength of their relationship. This kind of arrangement is only possible because it's built on a decade of trust and profound mutual understanding. It's a customized solution designed to navigate their specific neurodiversity and differing needs. It doesn't try to force either of them to be someone they're not.
It really is. This situation also brings up a fascinating thought experiment for all of us. How would society react to this story if it were a heterosexual couple? Imagine the wife has autism and the husband is seeking intimacy with other women.
Oh, the narrative would flip completely. The man would almost certainly be portrayed as predatory, selfish, and taking advantage of his vulnerable wife, and she would be cast as a victim, denying her the agency she has to co-create the rules of her own relationship.
Exactly. It shines a harsh light on the biases and stereotypes we still hold around gender, sexuality, and disability. We often fail to see people, especially neurodivergent individuals, as capable architects of their own lives and relationships.
So, looking at these two stories side by side, we see two very different sides of non-monogamy. Holvig and Bjorn's story is a cautionary tale about how even the best intentions can be derailed by external circumstances, showing the absolute need for flexibility.
And Ellie and Sina's story is an inspiring example of how a relationship structure can be beautifully customized to honor the unique needs of the people in it. It's about problem solving with love and trust.
What's so great is that both couples have promised to check back in with us in a few months to provide an update on their journeys, because these aren't static situations. They're living, breathing relationships that continue to evolve. Thank you all so much for listening to Modern Love with Madison and Ava. We'll talk to you next time.
If today's conversation resonated with you, please make sure to subscribe and be brave in sending us your comments and ideas for what you'd like us to talk about next.